Look here, Director Joseph.
Well, Director Joseph's trying to direct you.
I understand, but
You don't take well to direction.
Because I'm fine. I don't.
Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Moving up with the Miclettes.
Moving on up.
And my name's Joseph.
I'm Sherri.
And we are back with another episode. What are we talking about this week?
Our personal history with finance.
Our personal history with finance. Or, I guess you could say, our finance journey.
Yeah, where we learned about finances, how we learned about finances, all of that.
Yeah, and what we want to teach our kids, right? Especially at this point of our lives with what we have learned, what we have experienced, what we want to leave for them, and what we want to start teaching them, right? So,
Do you want to start?
I guess I will.
Okay. So what was your history with finance? So who basically taught you, about finances and what to do with your money?
So my story, I guess I can say that my story was a combination of being given information from a couple different sources. For one, my mom. Another source would be my grandmother, and then aunts and uncles. But that was very limited, right? From my mom, my grandmother, it was mostly about saving, right? And so saving seemed to be a very common, a common suggestion, a common, what they say, a recommendation, right? So between both of them, it was earn money, right? Work hard, earn money, and save it. As early as I could remember, I had a savings account, right? And I remember being a kid, probably somewhere between the ages of 10 or 11 years old, and walking into the credit union with my mom and depositing money into the savings account, right? So whether that was Christmas money, birthday money, even allowance money at that time, my $5 a week, or whatever was left, and I accumulated whatever I was able to accumulate at the end of the month, then that would go into the bank account. But I remember having that experience, walking into the bank and writing out a deposit slip and putting that in, and that was it. And then any other money that I got, whether it was loose change or a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, that'd go into the piggy bank, right? And I'd put that in the shoebox type of thing, or a piggy bank at home. And that was basically it. I remember also being told that I had some bonds, and that those were being saved for my future, right? And so this idea as a kid that I had money, not knowing how much money in bonds, that was like, okay, I got some security for the future. And that was about it, not really knowing how much it was and what I was going to be using it for. But as far as my relationship with money as I can remember at my earliest age, was really about saving, right? Work hard, earn money, hustle, and save. Then I had a couple aunts and uncles who, well, my aunt and uncles who pretty much suggested the same thing, right? So work hard, get a good education, get a good job, and save to have money for the future.
Did anyone ever at any point maybe mention, like, okay, we can start looking into CDs or investing your money in the stock market, or finding other vehicles for your money?
Absolutely not. And that's what's crazy, right? When I was at my grandparents' house, I remember hearing conversations as my grandfather was older, and talking with aunts and uncles and friends of his. Oh, we're gonna open a CD, or we're gonna open a CD here, we're gonna open a CD there. But that to me was foreign language. You know what I mean? Like, that to me wasn't something that I thought was something that was relevant to me, that was tangible to me, and it didn't make sense.
I used to be like, music? What? CD?
Yeah, and so to me, it was like, okay, say a CD is a savings account of some sort. Love my family to death. but no one ever really took the time to sit down and say, okay, this is what, a CD is. This is a Roth account. This is stocks. These are index funds, right? We did not have those conversations. Now, whether my extended family knew what those things were, that I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, those conversations never trickled down, right? Talk about trickle down economics. Those conversations never trickled down to myself. And it's not so much that I feel like they were trying to withhold information. For all I know, that knowledge and information was probably limited to them as well, right? And so retirement accounts, 401ks, I heard that, but that wasn't a conversation that we were having at a young age. Wasn't a conversation that I was having as a preteen or as a teenager.
Yeah.
And then as a young adult, after high school, going into college, it was work to save money, pay for school, and then one day get a career so that you could work some more to save money again and maybe buy a house.
Yeah.
Right? And
well, do you feel like, not having that knowledge potentially, hindered, what your net worth, or just hindered your, abilities to create wealth for yourself at a younger age?
Absolutely. And again, I'm not blaming, my mom, and I'm not blaming my family for withholding information or not giving me the proper financial education at a young age, right? I'm not blaming them. But absolutely, knowing what I know now, I would have loved to have been provided that information at such a young age to maybe even pique my interest and get me interested in that information. Because I'll be honest, like my relationship with financial independence and money, capitalism, all of that, right? Every aspect of the relationship with money that I have had has really been about saving, working to save, and then, not so much of an understanding that I can benefit from money in the market, the stock market, being able to use capitalism as a means to benefit me, my family, and future generations, right? And I'm not going to get into my whole philosophy with capitalism and all that right now, but that's for another time. But as far as where I'm at now, right, I'm 41 years old. I wish I would have known what I know now, right? And even that, I've only learned this small amount of information over the last year, to the point where I feel like it's been many years worth of learning in a small amount of time, And so for me, it's like, dude, if I would have known this at a young age, that relationship would have been different.
So knowing what you know now, what are the steps you want to take, or what do you want to teach, our kids for, to potentially help them grow wealth and be knowledgeable in regards to finances and, the stock market, or whatever the case may be?
Well, it's interesting because I think I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit about myself, right? I feel like I've always had that entrepreneurial hustler mentality of going out and grinding, mowing lawns as a kid, understanding that if I put in some work that I was going to get some money back, right? Whether it's allowances or working for something. Even even at school, selling my lunches.
Hustle. Don't stop.
I shared this with my mom a few years back. Like, it took me like 20 years, 15 years for me to tell my mom that I was selling lunch at school to make extra money, so that I can go buy baseball cards and go buy models, model cars to build, and go buy comic books, and that goes back to when I was like in middle school and high school, right? Hustling my friends. Well, I shouldn't say hustling. I guess you could say I was hustling my friends in a way, right? But no, like my hustle in high school was standing in the lunch line, right? I would wait in the lunch line because they didn't want to.
I mean, they still got that now. You don't want to wait in the line to get a concert ticket.
Yeah,
Somebody's there to stand in line for you.
I would wait in the lunch line.
Advanced.
They would give me, however much money to buy a pizza or buy a burrito, and then I'd keep the change. Hey, that was the hustle, right? And so, I think that's always been in me. But to your question, something that I want to teach our kids is the entrepreneurial spirit, right? Being able to go out, not just work for money, but provide a service, create a product that has value, right? And be able to make money off of it, so that you can use that money to put it in vehicles that can make money for you. Yeah. Like that's the one thing that I could tell you right now. I wish I knew.
Yeah.
That there are vehicles of money that can help make money for you, and that's the one thing I wish I knew my entire adult life, going back to my teenage years, that you can put money into different vehicles so that one day you don't have to work for that money, right? You don't have to trade your time, right? You don't have to trade your time for money. Because I'm going to be real with you, I'm tired of doing that. I'm so tired of trading my time for money, in regards to the kids, right? So entrepreneurial spirit, teaching them that one way of making money is going out and providing a service or creating a product, right? Something of value. Now, obviously, at their age, they're probably not even thinking about work, which is fine, right? But what I want them to understand is that at a very young age, they can go out and work either for somebody or they can work for themselves, right? Work for their last name again, right? That the whole concept of running your last name as a business. And so that's something I want to teach them, that they have the opportunity to be their own boss, right? Whether it's at 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, you ain't got to go work at McDonald's. You can if you want to. You ain't got to go work at Taco Bell. You ain't got to go work at a restaurant or retail, right? If you don't want to, because you can actually start your own business at such a young age, with our help. Right, and I know that we would be supportive of that, and we're already having those conversations with them now, in regards to certain things that Kylan wants to do, right? Yeah. And we've been talking about some other stuff too. So there's ways to do that, right? There's ways to become an entrepreneur and be your own boss and not have to go work for somebody else, trading your time for money for someone else, right? Something that I also want to teach them or something that I want us to teach them, I should say, is getting interested early on in different vehicles of being able to make more money, right? Again, my relationship with money at a very young age was save. That's it, right? Yeah. Save your money. And we know that saving money actually loses money in the long run, right? The amount of interest per dollar, when you consider inflation per year, that money that's sitting in your bank account is actually losing money. And we don't know that because we're thinking saving, right? And that's something that if more people, more parents, more families had the conversation of where else can we put that money, right? Where else can we put that money? That's something I want to teach our kids, because yeah, we have savings accounts, but there's other ways, high yield interest savings accounts. And then of course, you have your index funds and ETFs and all these other things that money can make for them, in the future, and so having those conversations, I think, helps them understand that their money is going to work for them, which again is part of that conversation of, being able to have a future that you can, have for yourself. Right. I think it's unfortunate. And again, I'm not blaming anybody, right? I'm not blaming my family for not having the conversations with me, but, we would be in a much better situation, I think, with the information and the knowledge, to, you know, to be better prepared for the future. You know, because you're gonna get to a point where you're not gonna necessarily want to keep trading your time for money.
Yeah.
You know,
so stay tuned for part 2, and where I discuss my personal, you know, journey with finances and money, and you know, hopefully you let us know what your history was with finances. Where did you learn about money? You know, things of that sort. Where'd you learn about the stock market? Where'd you learn, you know, what to do with your money? You know, go ahead and like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff, and leave comments. Let us know what you think.
Yep. Financial independence, financial freedom, all those things, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you for joining us. Go ahead and let us know what you think in the comments, and your history with finances, and your journey as well. And keep moving up with the Miclettes.
All right. We'll catch y'all next time. Part 2 coming up with Mrs. Miclette. And yeah, we'll see y'all back here again. Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Moving up with the Miclettes.
Moving on up.
Yes.
Start the video. I'll do the moving on up. We say our names. Don't forget to say our damn names. Keep moving on with the Miclettes.
Keep moving up. Can we do another take of that? You said keep moving on with the Miclettes.
Okay.
All right, let's go from the top.
Well, thank you for joining us, and keep moving up with the Miclettes.
Now it's your turn.
Thank you for joining us. Keep moving up with the Miclettes. Welcome out. Okay.
Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Moving up with the Miclettes.
Moving on up.
I am Joseph.
Okay.
Oh, man.